Hey everybody, welcome. Welcome. Hey Tina. How's things? Good evening. Or good afternoon. Or good evening. Yeah. Good to see you on. Hope you're doing well. And of course, hope that the connection is good. You never know nowadays whether the connection is good or not. But I'm hoping that it is. Hopefully you can hear me well. And also lately too, the chat has been popping in and out. So in the event that I don't respond to your comment in chat, it could be because the chat isn't popping up. So that could also be the case as well. But, of course that comes from the life is messy department, because nothing's ever absolutely perfect. It's how it is. But welcome all. Welcome to the broadcast this week of Insight with Moonshadow. Yeah, you lost me and you got back. Oh yeah, it may happen. I don't know. Well, still working on a lot of connectivity issues and trying to make it the best possible, with also making it as mobile as possible. Oh, I'm glad you're back. So yeah, in the hey Michael, it's basically what we're trying to happen. Oh, your YouTube froze. Oh, okay. I'm glad it wasn't on my end. But basically, what I'm trying to intend to do is work with as little equipment as possible, and still produce something that is, pretty high quality, without having to carry all kinds of stuff. Like I can tell you that as of right now, all my equipment, and I'm not using all of it right now, all my equipment fits in this duffel bag right now. So I can pretty much travel anywhere in the world right now with that duffel bag and be able to do the show, which is pretty cool. Now, of course, working with, phone issues and things like that on occasion, and as well as atmospheric or electrical or other issues, well, then that's another situation. But continuously, I myself and my trusty team, we continue to try to work at improving things, getting new locations and things like that. So stay tuned, because a lot of new things are coming up. I know that new intro, new outro, a lot of things are coming up. With they're almost caught up. I have to get under the hood and start posting all of the post-edited shows. That is coming up very shortly soon as well. And coming up very soon, we're going to have the West Coast Wanderlust show finally up. I've been busting, between myself and, of course, and my trusty producer, Ariel, of course. We were busting our asses getting all the editing done and getting as much done possible to get it all happening. So there's a lot going on, and also I want to say as well, I lost a loved one within the last couple of days. There's a lot of people that have passed on recently, so I want to give my love to, may they rest in peace, my cousin Christina, and as well as my godmother Bertha, because these are people that, you know, in the European faith, in the European walk tradition, we tend to be freakishly close. And I say freakishly, not in a, well, it could be sometimes be too close, but with family, this, you know, my godmother, she raised me. You know, she helped raise me, you know, going back when I was a kid, you know, seeing pictures of before I was, you know, when I was born, and her holding me. And now both my godfather, my baptismal godfather and godmother now are in the hereafter. And I have to send lots of love to my other, they're not cousins, but they might as well be. They're family. So my love goes out to them as well, and their loss. It's a horrible loss to have your parent go. And at this point, I've already lost my dad, and all is left in my immediate family is my mom and my sister. And of course, you know, my godnephew, niece, and my brother-in-law, that kind of thing. But immediate family, it's hard to lose loved ones. So, but in the spirit of that, I just continue to put the show out there as much as consistently as possible. So I dedicate this show to them because, you know, it's hard. And people think that it's hard for the person that's passed, but to be honest, it's probably a lot harder for the people that are still around in this realm and in this dimension, you know. It's probably a lot harder for the people that stay behind. But one last thought on that is, don't ever really think about how they died or why they died. Hey, Gene, think about how they lived their lives, who they were, their character, who they were as people. Because honestly, the people that pass, they don't want to think of you. They don't want you to think of them in a sad way. They don't want you to mourn and grieve and cry and all that. They want you to remember them for who they were. You know, who they are in the next life. That they were warm-hearted, they were wonderful people, they were giving, they were loving, all those things. They want you to remember that. So celebrate their life, not mourn their death. So, thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. It's always hard news to get. You know, it's always hard news when you find out, you know, someone in your family has passed on. So it's never good news. So I know they're in a better place, and they no longer have, and like my godmother as well as my cousin Christina no longer has to worry about the health issues and the carcass, the body that they left behind, the casing. Their soul can now soar in the heavens, where they will rest in peace and be able to watch over others. So I didn't want to. No, Gene, it's horrible. It's horrible. But I don't want to throw a bunch of doom and gloom on you guys. That's not my intention here. I just wanted to give, hey Marisha. Now, Marisha asked me last week, if I'm not mistaken, last week, she asked me about manifestation and how to manifest in the new year. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was Mari that requested that. Yes, she did. Okay. Well, today's topic is going to be within those realms and another couple other things involved. But I want to thank you guys for being here. It's always a pleasure having you guys here live, and it's always my intention to have you guys here. I'm not here to just hear myself speak, because honestly, I don't even like hearing myself talk most of the time. A lot of times I'm just quiet. But it's always nice to share stories and have conversation with all of you. So I appreciate all of you being here. And I'm here by my infrared fireplace it's cranking at a nice 84 degrees. I just started it up, so it's going to take a little bit to warm up, but I wanted to give you give you a whole different background, I guess. A lot of new things are happening, and I just say just stay tuned and follow and subscribe if you haven't, because there's a lot of new things coming up, and I'm always trying to improve. As much as I'm trying to improve myself, I'm also trying to improve the world around me and trying to help people along the way, whether it be with a conversation or a hug, and I'm just trying to make the best of everything that's going on. So I'm trying to do the same thing here, and always, as always, the show is always evolving. So just stay tuned, because things will get better and better and better and better and better. Yeah, so you got 2 inches of snow. Wow, okay, well we got rid of all the snow because we had crazy rainstorms and windstorms 3 days ago. But it's still cold. We had a break a couple of days, but it's still pretty cold. But yeah, so we're gonna get on the show and get that started. But thank you all for being here. Welcome to Inside with Moonshadow. I'm Moonshadow, Integrative Holistic Therapist, CHI-vangelist, and Shaman with over 30 years of experience in the healing field and connecting with people internationally and helping them heal, and them bringing me to more awareness to how to help people in the world heal as well as I heal in the processes at the same time. But today's topic is today's a holiday, of course, and today is Martin Luther King Day. Now, so I wanted to bring up Martin Luther King and pay respect to a great spirit and a great man and an incredible icon. Now, a lot of people, they say things and do things that are pretty iconic, and a lot of simple everyday people do it all the time. However, there are certain people that really deserve the credit and the respect. And I want to say that Martin Luther King is one of those people, because he was committed. Not much differently than Gandhi, not much differently than Nelson Mandela, and countless others. But with Martin Luther King, he had said that he had a dream. He had a dream about equality. He had a dream about people being compassionate with each other, about no need for people to consider people of color or people of race, for all of us to be equal, and for all of us to have respect for each other and love for each other. Now, of course, I'm paraphrasing. I don't know the whole thing by heart, but it started with, I have a dream. This can be more than a dream. And this is part of why I've combined the topic for today being about dreaming and aspiring to new things and manifesting and being able to manifest now in the present to really evolve what you need in the future. Now, of course, the future has no guarantees, and we all know that. But one thing I do know is this. We have the ability to... We may not be able to change everything. And there's a quote, we may not be able to change the wind, but we do have the ability to adjust our sails. So now, that being said, a lot of it just means about coping skills, about coping mechanisms. You may not change your surroundings. You may not change everything. You may not be able to change every minute or every moment, but you can change how you deal with it. So, not only did Martin Luther King have a dream, but all of us have a dream. If you're familiar with, people immigrating to this country in the U.S., they had a dream too. They were hoping for the American dream. Unfortunately, the American dream has been disrespected and it's been dishonored. Being patriotic is a bit different nowadays if you look at it from different viewpoints. But I want to say that the American dream, the dream, your dream is still very, very possible. And this is why we're going into manifestation and how to manifest and really how to implement manifestation in your everyday life so you too can have bigger and better. Now, I'm not saying bigger and better for other people to know. I'm not saying bigger and better for people to see a new car, a new house, or anything like that. I'm talking about bigger and better for you, your best, your version of best. Because you may have your idea of an incredible life might be a small house on the beach somewhere. Your idea of a dream life may be things, accumulation of things. Your idea of a dream life could be having people around you that love you. And your idea of a dream may be something simple. Just to be loved and love others and not have to worry about finances and bills and things like that. But all this makes a difference. So all of our dreams differ in our perception. But in manifesting, this is something that I find that tends to be the issue here, is that very much like resolutions, very much like we break promises to ourselves all the time. All the time. So you may pay your bills every month. You may get up every morning to go to work. You may take care of your kids. You may make breakfast and make meals for your family. But you may not always take care of yourself. That's where the problem is a lot of the time. So in manifesting, one of the first things that I must bring up in manifesting is about follow through and consistency. So however, and I will be talking about some methods of manifesting and how to manifest, but consistency is a key. No different than if you go on a diet, you may lose 20 pounds. But then what happens? Woo! I lost 20 pounds. I'm going to go back to eating a whole pizza by myself. I'm going to go back to drinking a 6-pack of beer or drinking soda like I did before, or not eating as much vegetables, or not taking good enough care of myself. So we go back to that. So then those 20 pounds were for nothing. Because, I've said this quite often, but death is already in it. Die it. Death is already involved in the title. So you get what you want, you get into that bikini bod, or you get into the better than dad bod, or whatever it may be. And dad bod is a thing now. Dad bod is a thing. It's not being super fit, it's being a dad bod. You know, it's being normal. I guess a dad bod has to have a label. And you don't have to be a dad to have a dad bod. And apparently it's trending. So you don't have to have a six-pack. It is what it is. I'm still trying to figure all that crap out. I just want to be healthy. So dad bod, moon bod, I just want to be healthy. I just want to be as fit as I can be, because I know I don't always do what's right for myself. And I will tell you, I do practice what I preach, but even it's very difficult to practice. So that's one thing that we all need to know. It's difficult to maintain and commit every day to doing what you need to do. And I know different, do my best, but honestly, sometimes the best is all you can do. Sometimes it's just one thing, one goal you made for today, and you did it. So, now looking at manifestations. Yeah, Michael, only six-pack I ever had was beer. You know what? When I was younger, I had a six-pack. I wasn't like super buff, but I was a hell of a lot healthier back then. But that was a whole different scenario. That was many, many, many Silver Gandalf wisdom hairs ago. But one of the big things with manifestation is commitment and follow through. We don't do it enough. We don't stick with it enough. So no different than you going on a diet. It can't be a diet. It has to be a lifestyle. So if it doesn't resonate within your lifestyle, manifesting or meditating every day, then you're not going to do it. I'm just giving you some straight talk, some real talk now, because you know what? I'm not going to sugarcoat and blow sunshine up your skirts or boxers, because that just doesn't happen. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. So I can honestly say everything that you see on my social media and me posting, it's because I'm working, I'm trying, I'm doing. You know, even Yoda said, you know, do or do not. There is no try. Well, sometimes you just gotta try. Seriously. And that's a poor Yoda. I'll have to work on that. But honestly, there is a level of just commitment and follow through and maintaining that commitment. So that's why I say don't know lofty goals, as you've heard me mention before. No lofty goals. Do not say, I'm going to start working out all the time and I'm going to eat all the right things and I'm going to do all this and do all that. You're fooling yourself. And I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm being real. I'm just laying down the realism here. However, can you maintain, or can you do, or can you make goals that are achievable? Absolutely. Can you manifest those goals? Absolutely. At one point in time, I was very, very good at manifesting. And I'm still there. It may not be to the degree that I used to be. It may not be to the degree of Jedi, of Jedi Knights manifestation. But I'm working on getting back to that. And it's happening. Now here's some tips and tricks. And I say tricks, but not really tricks or shortcuts. They're more like life hacks for manifestation and how to manifest. First of all, keep it simple. There's an old expression, KISS, an acronym, KISS, which means keep it simple, stupid. So keeping it simple is a good start. You don't have to be elaborate, so start simple. It could be one simple goal. Now, let's just say, for example, wellness or fitness or well-being. Let's use that as an example. If you want to manifest wellness or fitness, you could think all day long that you want to do that, but you have to get off the couch. You have to do something, right? You have to do something. So, just a little tip there, or a life hack there. A moon sight, if you will. walk. Now granted, I know that outside is awfully cold, so you don't have to walk outside. Go to the mall. It gives people an excuse to shop. Sorry, not sorry. But go to a mall. Get a Fitbit. You notice I have a Fitbit. This Fitbit is for more than one reason. This Fitbit watches how badly I sleep and tells me how bad I sleep. But also, too, it gives me my steps. It tracks what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. So I could use that to my capability. I can use that to improve my life. So when it's cold like this in the winter, walk. If you have the chance of going to a gym that there's a pool, swim. If you can't swim, maybe one of your goals should be to learn how to swim. But this is all starting small. Starting small is really, really important. If you start small, then you are able to begin at one point. Because all of us, as we come into this world, we start off by screaming a primal scream, I am here, I'm alive, right? And then at that point, we have to crawl. We have to stare at the ceiling for a while, like a turtle. You know? Now, like Ariella's mentioning monofin workouts. Now, I will say, I've never used a monofin, but I have swam similarly like dolphins swim in the ocean and in pools. As much as that may look silly to some people, believe it or not, that is like a core workout in itself. You have to use your whole body to propel yourself. So the monofin just increases that resistance. Also, what's cool about doing things in water, whether it be water yoga or things like that, it's low impact. So, that's one way. Awesome. And I know, Michael, you have been jumping on that treadmill recently and focusing on that. That is awesome, dude. I give you a lot of props on that. I had workout equipment that was used to hang my clothing, my laundry. I got rid of those. I don't have that anymore. So yeah. But that's another thing. If you're going to buy workout equipment, it's not there to collect dust. Use it. Even if it's a few minutes a day. And again, it's not easy. You got to maintain. So just in fitness and wellness alone, small little life hacks. Try to have healthier choices and try to do things on a little by little scale. Because you're going to be proud of yourself. You're going to be happy with yourself. Now, along the lines also in manifesting as well, say it's something that it's not in the physical realm that you want to bring to the physical realm. Say, for example, balance or wellness in a more mind, body, spirit kind of way. Meditation works real well. Also, you can meditate doing anything. I can meditate right now. It would be that simple. People overcomplicate certain things. They will complicate matters and make something as much as meditation. And I did it too. When I first started, a long time ago, I did that too. I'd be like, okay, all right, go to meditate. All right, meditate. Yeah, meditate. And all I was doing was revving myself up worse. I was hyping myself up for nothing. So it came to me, I was there trying to meditate, and this is what happened. Funny thing happened on the way to meditation that day. I heard the words, breathe. So, obviously, one of my guides decided to just tell me, just breathe. It's that simple, bud. It's that simple. Just breathe. And so I started doing that. So then I learned different breathing techniques. I've learned the breathing where, and you're exhaling on the other side of your nose, which is also, you can see it on my YouTube channel as well. You can see breathe like the Dalai Lama, A very good breathing technique. But there's that. So it's just breathing. Focusing on one point, on one thing, with a soft eye. And just breathing. And letting it come in and out. It's that simple. We overcomplicate a lot of things in life. I know many people that complicate things too much. I also used to overcomplicate things. And on occasion I still do. If I'm trying to troubleshoot something, I go into the big, grandiose, what could it be? It's the big, huge thing. And sometimes it's the simplest little solution. So, that's an example. So meditation is important. Now, I mentioned this in other broadcasts before, but reminding yourself and being a good support system and giving yourself self-care and self-love, that is incredibly important to manifest as well. I am constantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I am constantly, every so often, working on an affirmation. Now, I wear my mala beads literally around my wrist. I have a smaller set of mala beads. I only have, I think 19. I think I have one that has 11 on it. But I can use while I'm even driving. So, continuous reminders and affirmations also help in manifestation. Because what happens is, and this is no surprise to any of you, I'm not telling you anything new at this moment. You probably already use negative affirmations. You affirm negatively all the time. And it happens. There are times that I've done it, and I still do it by accident, and I have to cancel it out. I have to reverse it. I have to change it. I have to do something different, But we negatively affirm things all the time, so we are manifesting all the time. And when we're manifesting negative outcomes. Watch me be late for work. Yeah, watch you be late for work, because you just stated it. You just stated that you're going to be late for work, so sure enough, you're going to be late for work. Yes, and then there's also, I'm also looking at down the road, not only of offering, the merchandise is we're just about there. We're like 99% ready for launch of our merchandise. So the Inside Moonshadow merchandise is going to be launched very shortly, and there are going to be actual handcrafted, hand-blessed, hand-charged things from me in my hands as well. So, but I have to build some stuff first. I have to get it going. I'm still debating on what. They may be walking sticks. They may be definitely probably going to be mala beads. And also, too, I've been designing over the past year, I've been designing an oracle. I've been designing an oracle of my own creation to produce as well. So that will probably also be handcrafted from my hands, also hand blessed and charged for you to purchase. But I have to finish designing everything first. But I will let you know. But the thing is, too, is all of that started with an idea. All of it started with making a plan and saying, you know what, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Now, a lot of you already know my story about broadcasting. I've been broadcasting forever. However, for me to go into this new live streaming journey, I had to go live. I had to hit the button. I had to do that. So, this is interesting. I'm going to have to edit this out. Hang on a minute.
really?
Yes. So.
Oh,
Yes. So.
sorry, everyone.
So make sure you close the door. Okay. So. Remember I told you about life being messy? Well, that's kind of the thing.
I'm Messy. How do you do?
Yeah. That's my friend Messy. Well, my friend Nancy. But, so now yeah. Now, did I know this was going to happen? I will say yes, I did. Why? Because I am messy as F and not very organized. Yeah. And people said hello, by the way. Ariel said hello as well. Yeah, see, I said it was going to happen. Because this is what the deal is. And that's Nancy. Have a seat if you like. You can have a seat anywhere.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, polished, I am not completely. So, I apologize. Not really. Sorry, not sorry. But, so, we were at Manifesting Simply. So now looking at things, you first have to start off slowly. It starts off with an idea. It starts off with a plan. So when I went ahead and decided to start to live stream, what did I do? I had to click the live button. I had to hit that big, red, scary button. Even though I had all kinds of experience in broadcasting and radio and whatnot, DJing, I still was a little nervous hitting that red button. But I did it. And now, this is like, I think, episode 105. So this is part of it. So it starts off with an idea, a plan. It starts off with an inkling, a seed, if you will. Any plant starts off as a seed. All of us start as a seed, as an egg, as a sperm, without getting into all the education and all that. Don't have to teach all that stuff. But this is how it all starts. And of course, as you evolve and get better and better, then the simple becomes even simpler. This is the great thing about manifestation. There was one point in time that my Jedi Knight magic, if you will, was so good, I'd be able to be like, it'd be really good. It'd be really nice to have a coffee right now. And all of a sudden, phone ring. Ka-ding! And it'd be a friend of mine going, hey, Moon, I was thinking, I just thought of you. Want to go for a coffee? And I'll tell you, after a million years of doing this stuff, after a million years of doing what I do, that still freaks me the hell out. Hair in the back of my neck goes up, and I'm going, dude, that was messed up. But this is true, and it happens. And now, but this is, it's almost, if you really want to think about it, it's almost like without thinking. There's a Zen thought of doing without doing. There's a particular rune I get all the time. It's practice the art of doing without doing. So you put effort, but not too much effort. Because if you think about it, if you stare at something long enough, it gets blurry and you lose sight of it, right? So it's the same thing. So within manifestation, to manifest, whatever it may be, whether it be the job you want, or whether it be a new car, whether it be a trip to somewhere crazy, it can happen. As an example, now I had spoken to a few people going back some years ago, and I had said, I haven't traveled in a while. It'd be great to travel again, because I miss it. Now, I put that little seed off into a pot that I ignored. I didn't freaking water. I didn't put fertilizer in. It was literally in the corner of the room somewhere. And then guess what? That was 2015. So we're in 2018 now. So 2016, a couple of things started popping up. To the point where, to date, at this point, recent, I've been to the West Coast twice. Traveled everywhere. Now, I've been wanting to go to California, wanting to go to San Francisco, wanting to see what the West Coast was like, wanting to put my feet in the Pacific Ocean. forever. And it happened. Strangely enough, it happened. So, to sound like a bad Kevin Costner movie, even though it was a really good movie, Field of Dreams, build it and they will come. So sometimes, not really going into the details. Now, you're going to find that a lot of manifestation work that you look into or research, they say, be specific. And you should be somewhat specific. But also, too, sometimes there's a level of being too specific. That's a little limiting. So instead of focusing on, okay, I'm going to make an extra $10,000 a year salary, but it's going to be with this job, from this particular department, from this, and sometimes that specific, that being that specific is not going to help you. It's actually going to harm you. So if you look at it from the general, more grand scheme, I want an increase in salary. Done. That's it. You don't care where it comes from. As long as it's not illegal or unethical or political, it's going to be something where you're going to have, it's probably going to happen sooner, because now you're wide open to more and bigger and better things. So what do we know, kids? Yes, I said kids. I'm feeling a little Mr. Rogers at the moment. Yes, don't be the guy in the Doritos commercial. Yeah, but you know what, though? I love that guy. The difference is he needed to follow through. Instead of he should have said, bare naked chick, fast, because that dog was quick at manifestation. You want to talk about an amazing manifester, that dog was amazing. But ultimately, this is the key, though, is you could be specific as far as a certain money amount or a certain frequency of a certain something, or of where you particularly want to go. Like coming up next, I know that I'm looking at wanting to do more specialized training in my body work and doing more shamanic training. That will happen, and that's going to happen this year. I have done it. I've said it. I've made it. That's it. It's done. Boldface, italicized, underlined. It's going to happen this year, and you are going to see it happening, because there will be a show from that location, or at least a city. You may not be seeing me doing body work on semi-naked people, but I will be at another location then, and you will know it. But the thing is, I have made it so. I'm committed to it. I'm following through with it. I don't know how I'm going to do it, to be honest with you, but that's not the point. The point is, it's going to happen. It's happening now. The seed is in a pot that I'm paying attention to this time. I've got Miracle Grow on that little mofo. Okay, got Miracle Grow happening. I've got distilled water. I've got all of that. Because it's going to happen. And yes, as my trusty producer is saying, she wants to be there too. So there's a pretty good chance she's probably going to be there, because, well, she doesn't make up in size. She makes up in attitude. Just saying. Just saying. Truly. But the whole point is, you have to be committed. You have to follow through with it. You got to do it. It's just, you have to get it done. Anyone who's been anyone that's done anything always had the ability and the passion and the drive to say, no matter what, it's going to happen. Did you know that Thomas Edison, when he first created the light bulb, do you know he failed 999 times? It was everything but a freaking light bulb. But that 1,000th time, he was like, oh, angels sang, everything was freaking fantastic. And now, to his credit, I wouldn't be sitting here right now with you. Because the light bulb started a huge tsunami of other, technology advancement, right? He had a light bulb moment. And see, even then, he had a light bulb moment. Bing! He had a light bulb moment before the light bulb was even created. I'm sure. But this is all part of it. So now, any of you, throw it up in the chat. What would you like to manifest? What are you looking at manifesting right here, right now, and in the future? What do you want to manifest? What do you think you need to do? Now, yes, I'm making you work, and I'm actually giving you some challenges. Because you know what? I'll tell you, life is already challenging at AF, and this is a family show. So now Ariel is saying, living by the ocean and being a successful entrepreneur. That's doable. You got to think of it. And honestly, I was just speaking with somebody just last night about this. And they were mentioning about a lot of people believe that life is suffering. Life is suffering. We're supposed to be suffering. We're supposed to be suffering all the time. This is what life is. I was raised in my nationality, in the European tradition. You're raised that you have to work your nuts off your whole life until you're dead. Is that graphic enough for you? Like, they need to pull the punch card from your dead, bony fingers before you're dead. Now, guess what? I say screw that. It's not true. And yeah, I'm going against a lot of the way I was brought up, and I believe that working hard and working smart is hugely, hugely important. James! That's James, my brother from another mother. We adopted each other a long, long time ago. And James, it's awesome seeing you. Happy birthday, by the way. Everyone send birthday shout-outs to James.
Happy birthday!
So it's always good to see you, man. And I'm telling you, we're sidestepping for a second. By the way, Hogwarts, there's going to be this big, huge thing going on. I did post it on my social media. It's amazeballs. So you got to check it out. It's going to be incredible. But check it on my social media. But yeah, so as an example, and I could use James as an example. James had a little idea with music. And he had brought this idea. This is many, many years ago. And it's an amazing idea. Now, he got pretty far with it. But if he wasn't focused on manifesting it, making it happen, and staying consistent with it, then it wouldn't go on as far as it did. But this is a big part of it. If you do not believe in yourself, and then you're not going to believe in anything, and you're not going to believe that anything's going to happen. Nothing will get done. And that is your biggest demon, to be honest. You are your worst critic. So with manifesting anything, one of the big, important things is you have to believe that you are going to do it. So be kind to yourself. You don't have to necessarily work hard at it completely, even though it does happen with most people. Working hard is an option, but working smart and efficiently is another. I tell my students all the time, because I also teach English to South Koreans. Sorry, I just went to South Africa for a second. In South Korea. And my students, they're stuck in a outdated, barbaric work culture where they will work them to the bone, where they don't see their families and they don't see their children grow up. They're constantly working like little worker bees. The quality of life is not as great as it could be. So all the money in the world gives you nothing unless you can enjoy it, right? So this is all part of it as well. So working hard and working smart. If, let's just say fitness-wise, okay, you go to the gym 7 days a week, and you go ahead and pull a hammy. You're out now. You cannot work out now. So you're not working out for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, depending on how much damage you put on your body. So, working hard doesn't really work all the time. If you injure yourself, it's not going to help you. But doing it consistently will help you. making it part of what you need to do every day as a lifestyle choice is going to make a difference. Now, manifesting, another tip on manifesting and moonsight here is this. You want to be able to see this happening. Put as much life into this affirmation or into this manifestation. If you want to make it to travel to a different place, see yourself there. Look at pictures. Put pictures, make a virtual vision board like I had mentioned in the last couple of broadcasts, so you can put that on your phone. If I want to go to a particular place, sometimes I'll use that as a wallpaper on my phone. And I get to see it every time I pick up the phone. I can see that place far away. Hawaii is one of those places, by the way. There's a lot on the list. So, what are you going to do? But this is also part of it too. So it doesn't necessarily have to be super complicated. It doesn't have to be a major feat. It doesn't have to be something where you're going to beat yourself up about. Because that's another thing that people do. They make the mistake quite often by doing this, is because you don't fit in other people's perception, then you're all wrong or something. That's not the way to be. Ultimately, it's really, really about being true to yourself and really focusing on what you want, who you are, and that's the journey. That's why we're here. That's why we're put into these casings we call bodies. That's why our hearts beat involuntarily. That's why we have to sleep and eat and crap and do all the things we do. It's all about learning. It's all about lessons. It's all about getting as evolved as we can for the next. So if there's any questions so far, feel free to ask and throw it up on the chat. I'd be glad to answer any questions. And hopefully it's still good as far as being live in the connection. Hopefully it's still really good. But ultimately that's one way to go. Now, most of the time, what do we usually want to manifest? Love, money, prosperity, abundance. Those are a lot of the things that we tend to do. Okay, now Ariel is asking, what's the best way to take baby steps in manifesting a big goal? Okay, first of all is deciding that you're going to do it. That's the first baby step. So if I say, I'm going to lose, like for example, I have to lose some lbs. So dad bod plus has happened. I'm not happy with it. I've gone through a lot of old footage in the last year, and I realized the camera adds pounds, and guess what? Me no likey. So that means me have to get more fit. So in that case, you have to decide that you're going to do something. Now, this is not something that I haven't done before. It's all about maintaining and making it a lifestyle again, making it a weekly thing, constantly looking at doing it. So now, baby steps. First, the decision. You've decided to actually make this step. Now, whether it is healthier choices in eating or things like that, that's your start. So it starts with a decision. And once you do that, then it's good to break down the goal into small, manageable steps, little mini goals. Because when you have the mini goals happening, when you find yourself achieving these mini goals, you're going to find yourself happy as hell. And you're going to be like, wow, that's amazing. So let's just say you want to lose weight. And my focus isn't on fitness or wellness, it's about anything. It's about anything. So say, for example, you want to lose weight. That's just an example. 5 pounds. 5 pounds isn't terribly hard. Okay? I lost literally 15 pounds by not drinking soda anymore. Now, I don't drink soda much anymore either. I drink mostly water. But that was a start. Was deciding, I realized I gained, this is going back a couple of years ago, I had gained 15 pounds, and the only thing that I had changed wasn't my lifestyle, wasn't working out less or more, wasn't eating more or less. It was really just soda. That's it. Junk. I took the junk out. I started getting back to drinking more water again, and then guess what happened? like overnight practically, I dropped 15 pounds. Again, deciding factor. You made the decision to do something and maintain it. So you think about it every day. So now making it to smaller baby steps is really, really important. And of course, as I said earlier, do not beat yourself up over it because tomorrow's another day. Rome wasn't built in a day, and Rome wasn't destroyed in a day either, to be honest. So every day you have a new opportunity to get better and to do more. Every day is a new opportunity. No different than the sun rises and sets, you have the opportunity to continue getting back on the horse. You fall off the horse, get back on. And that's tip number 2. Get back on. Don't go, I tried it, failed, I'm not doing it again. To hell with it. Continue doing it. Or think of why, or think of the lesson where it could have gone wrong. Maybe it wasn't meant for you to do it that way. Maybe there's a new method. Maybe there's a new way of doing it. Maybe you were working at the wrong gym, or maybe you were doing something differently. Think about the whys and whats and what makes it helpful or not helpful. What is a lesson involved in why it didn't work? Also, understand this. In manifestation, failure is success. Just like when I was mentioning about Thomas Edison making the light bulb. If he gave up after the first time, you're like, F that, I'm done. Guess what? We'd be in the dark ages right now. There'd be no electricity, there'd be no light, we'd be screwed. Well, actually, we might be better off. Because a lot of technology came up and kind of got bastardized and misconstrued. But that's a whole different story. But we wouldn't have these lovely advances that we have. I wouldn't have this beautiful, virtual, not real, phony fireplace behind me if it wasn't for Thomas Alva Edison. But again, did he quit after the first time? No, he didn't. Our lives and anyone that's been iconic have been built on failure. None of them were like, this is the first time I'm going to try, and there, we're good. It happened. Yay! I won the lottery. It never happens that easily. It'd be nice. I'm not going to lie. But it doesn't happen that way. It never truly does. And if it does, then an angel went down, flew down, kissed you on your forehead, pat you on your ass, and said, hey, I'm going to give it to you right here, right now. So some work is involved, a little bit of work, at least some kind of follow-up, some kind of commitment, some kind of passion, some kind of drive is important. So, also too, this past year, I had a health issue come up, a challenge. I had a hard time finding out what it was. And most of you don't even know what it is, other than a small inner circle of people. However, I told my doctors, we'll find out what it is, and I'm going to get rid of it. And they looked at me like I had 3 heads. Well, just to let you know, fast forward probably about a few months or a year, I'm managing and maintaining this. So I'm kicking its ass. It's not controlling me. I'm doing my best to control it. So that's the important part. But again, it's not because I was dismissing it. I simply said I can't have this limitation in my life. It's high maintenance. I don't need this. So I changed it. And so far, knock on wood, it's working. Again, small, maintainable goal. But I also listened to my doctors. I also listened to my physical therapist. I also did what I needed to do. So that's another thing. Don't be an ass. Listen to people that have more wisdom than you. That's another tip and trick. I'm spouting all this lovely wisdom, but you know what? If it wasn't for me listening and repeating the wisdom that I was given, then I wouldn't be here talking to you now. So that's a big part of it too. Even Yoda had a master. Just to let you know. So that's a big part of it. Absolutely. And it's nice to see that you're still here, James. James is not surprised by this because I will tell you, over beers and tea and whatnot, when I saw him last, we had many a conversation. And some of the deep conversations we had would probably make people's heads spin. James knows this. But seriously, though, it's what it's all about. So, also another little tip here is you have a role to play in this life. You have a role to play. You can manifest whatever you'd like. If you choose to have other people decide for you what your life is, then you've already made a decision. If you've decided to make your own life, you've also made a decision. And either way, you are right. You are correct either way. If you think about it. If I say, I'm never going to accomplish anything, I'm right, because I've just stated it. But also, too, if I said I'm too old for this crap and things got to get better, I've also said that too. So this is a big part of it. Now, remember when I said start small? What happens is when you start small, it starts to build on itself. Very much like, remember the game Telephone? You have like a dozen people, and one person hears the actual story, and they tell the next person the story, and before you know it, by the third or fourth person, it's been totally twisted to something else. Well, on the positive end, it could be the same thing. Now, this is another little tip and trick that you could also work with manifesting. You don't necessarily have to tell anyone that you're doing it. Now, there are some schools of thought that say that you need to tell people, or you need to advertise, or you need to be out loud doing it stuff. You don't necessarily have to. The only person that you have to please is yourself in this. The only person that you have to prop up and hold up and care for in that case while you're manifesting is you. So as long as it's not hurting anybody again or anything that's criminal or anything like that, of course, you don't want to stay away from that because that is bad karma and it comes back and bites you in the ass. You don't want any of that. However, but the thing is, ultimately, you are the sole person to lift yourself up and continue going because you will have people telling you can't do it. You will tell people, say, oh, I don't see you doing it. You'll never make this happen. You'll never accomplish this. Well, I can tell you, a lot of people that have made it in the world to this day, majorly iconic people, made it through the world without an education, some of them, made it without anybody supporting them, made it without anything but a soul drive and a persistent determination to get where they want to go or be who they want to be. So this is something to think about. This is something to look at. So now, a lot of what I'm bringing up isn't really rocket science, if you really think about it. A lot of it is too. If you fully believe in yourself and you give yourself enough credit, you can manifest today, right this moment. You can manifest really big things, really great things by starting off with one step. As a matter of fact, I'm paraphrasing this. I know this isn't the exact expression, but it says, the journey of a lifetime starts with one step. And that's the beginning of it. One step. If you do that one step, then you continue. That's two steps. Before you know it, you just walked away from something huge. whether it was a toxic situation, whether it was a difficult life, whether it was a bad business deal, whatever it may be. It's that simple. So keep moving forward. Don't regret or regress back. And believe me, I know how that is. I've done that quite often. And I've beat myself up. And I've said, what the hell? You know what I mean? People listen to what you say, and some people take your word as gospel, and look at you. You're failing them. You're failing yourself. What are you doing? And then I look at that critic and go, shut up. Here's a beer.
I live there.
I'm like, there you go. So at that point, don't let it. Because it's only going to tell you what you can't do. So I'm here to tell you, you can do whatever you put your mind to do. Whether it's fail or succeed. Whether it's something good or something negative. Whether it's ruin your life or ruining someone else's. So it's all about being mindful. It's all about thinking about what is and how you can make it happen. And if you focus on that and you keep on moving forward, stepping forward, you're going to find yourself a lot happier, a lot healthier, and moving in the right direction. I know it sounds awfully simple, doesn't it? It sounds really simple. Well, I can tell you it's not. Because in the world of having to work too hard and try too hard and be someone you're not, some of the simplest things become the most complex mountain. So that's why I want to say keep it simple. I'm going to change the keep it simple stupid. I'm going to say keep it simple spirited souls. A little nicer. Stupid, none of you are stupid. So that's a big part of it. So now, I'm sure we'll be talking more about manifestation. I'm sure that this is going to come up again, as well as you guys hear about mindfulness and how to be more socially aware and being more self-aware about things. And I'm sure it won't be the last time I talk about this. But I wanted to focus on this for today. And just remember, Martin Luther King had a dream. And so do I. And so do you. And it's your choice if you want to make it a dream or if you want to make it a freaking nightmare. Something to think about. So, we're going to end the broadcast for today. I am so glad all of you are here. All of you really, truly inspire me and continue doing this live every week. Because I'll tell you, talk about follow-up and talk about commitment. This is episode 105. I believe it's 105. I don't think it's 106. I think it's 105. But the thing is this. There are weeks that I just don't have it in me. Yes, okay, so my trusty producer says yes, 105. So there are weeks that I didn't have the fuel in the tank to do it. And the interesting thing about this was one thing that kept me going is all of you. People like Michael throwing a DM at me or a message saying, "Hey Moon, you gonna be on today? What time you gonna be on today? What's going on?" Right? Having Marisha that comes in every week and gives me challenges about new topics, suggestions, and things like she did. So I have to give Marisha shout outs for today because she brought up the topic today. So, atta girl, you're awesome. But ultimately, all of you kept the fuel going. You gave me a little boost to keep going every week. So I want to thank you all for that. And I appreciate all of you for being here every week and, following my posts and following me on social media. And if you don't follow me on social media, do so. You'll never know what I'm going to say. Because you know what? I don't even know what I'm going to say. It's you never know. You never know. There may be sometimes I think my life is a blooper reel, to be honest with you. But if you like what's going on, if you connect or follow or believe that I have some little moon nuggets and moon sights for you, do subscribe, do follow, and check out all my social media. You can see it in the description on this broadcast, as well as checking out my website, which is moonphoenixrising.com or phoenixrisinghealingarts.com. So I appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you all for hanging out on another wonderful moon day, a cold moon day. And as I say every week, be strong. Aw, thanks, James. Yeah, my life is not a reel. It's real. It is. Sometimes, James, I feel it's surreal. You know how that is, right, bud? But it was awesome to have my extended family. James also, give a big shout out to James over from across the pond. And as I say every week, be strong, be amazing, be you. Thanks, guys. Love you all.